Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if I told you that the very thing you're so afraid to release is actually the barrier between you and the life you've always longed for. What if the heartbreak, the failure, the fear you've been clutching onto is actually positioning you for something far greater, something beyond your current imagination? Picture yourself at the edge of a cliff, gripping a rope that feels like your only lifeline. But what if the only way to cross to the other side is to let go and trust you'll be caught? That's what faith is. It's believing that God or the universe is ready to support you. This isn't simply about letting go. It's about stepping boldly into a life filled with joy, abundance, and freedom. Are you ready to set down the weight you've been carrying and discover the life waiting for you? Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making room for greatness. When you release what no longer serves you, you invite in new possibilities you never even thought were possible. Trust that there's a bigger plan at work, one you can't fully see yet. Often what you cling to most tightly is the very thing anchoring you away from your destiny. Surrender is not weakness, it's strength. It's choosing to believe that what lies ahead is so much better than what you're leaving behind. You've been carrying heartbreak, fear, and old stories for so long. But what if, the moment you release them, your life begins to transform? What if the fear of letting go is the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough? You don't need all the answers right now. You simply need to trust that there's a force greater than you aligning everything for your highest good. Consider this. What if the heartbreaks, the failures, the disappointments were never setbacks but setups for something extraordinary? Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means gaining freedom. Freedom from the past. Freedom to step into a brighter, limitless future. You've carried that burden for far too long. It's time to release it. Imagine again, standing at the edge, holding onto that rope, terrified to fall. But maybe the only way to soar is to trust, to let go and leap in faith, believing God or the universe has your back. You don't need to see every step of the staircase. You only need to take the first one. Letting go is that step. You've prayed for change, for miracles. Maybe the miracle is waiting on the other side of your surrender. You've tried to control every outcome, but real strength lies in releasing control and allowing life to move through you. When you stop resisting, you begin truly living. Think about the times you thought it was over, yet here you are. You survived, you grew, you thrived, you will again. Letting go isn't the end, it's the beginning. The beginning of a chapter where your past no longer defines you, but your dreams empower you. What if the very thing you're gripping is the barrier blocking your peace? You don't have to figure it all out today. You just need to trust. Trust that there's a divine design unfolding perfectly. Letting go is an act of incredible faith. It's choosing to believe in something bigger, something greater than yourself. You've carried pain, regret, and fear long enough. What if you didn't have to anymore? What if letting go set you free, freer, lighter, and more alive than you've ever felt? Letting go isn't forgetting. It's forgiving. Forgiving yourself, others, and making peace with what was so you can embrace what can be. Imagine clearing a cluttered room, finally able to breathe, move, and see clearly. That's what letting go does to your soul. It creates space for miracles. You've been waiting for a sign, a breakthrough. What if this is your sign? What if your breakthrough is just a choice away? The choice to let go. You don't need to know the how. You just need to trust the process. Letting go is the ultimate courage, the greatest faith. What if the thing you fear losing the most is actually what's holding you back? What if once you release it, you find something even more aligned with your soul's purpose? You've clung to that job, that relationship, that dream for so long, but maybe it's time. Maybe there's something even better waiting just beyond your release. Real power isn't in forcing outcomes, it's in surrendering to divine timing. When you stop pushing, everything flows. Letting go isn't defeat. It's rising to a higher trust, believing you're supported, guided, and loved beyond measure. Think back to the times life redirected you when you least expected it. Maybe those redirections were blessings in disguise, leading you somewhere better. Letting go is trusting the journey. Even when you can't see the full path, you've carried regret, pain, fear, but it's time to set them down. It's time to rise. Letting go doesn't erase your past, it liberates you from it. It opens the door to fresh opportunities, new beginnings, and limitless possibilities. What if the thing you're still holding on to is the only thing standing between you and your destiny? What if by releasing it, you step into a life grander than your wildest dreams? You don't need every answer right now. You just need trust that you're guided, loved, and supported. Letting go is your first step into freedom, into joy, into abundance. You've been waiting for the perfect moment, but what if that moment is here? Now, what if the second you let go, everything falls beautifully into place? Letting go isn't losing, it's gaining. Gaining peace, gaining clarity, gaining the life you were always meant to live. Remember the times you thought you couldn't move forward, yet here you are, you made it, you thrived. And you will again. Letting go isn't the end, it's your glorious new beginning. A future where you are no longer imprisoned by your past, but are empowered by your potential. What if the very thing you're clinging to is the barrier between you and your destiny? Imagine the moment you let it go, you step into a life beyond anything you ever dreamed of. You don't need to have all the answers. You simply need to trust that the universe is working in your favor. Letting go isn't about losing. It's about gaining. Gaining peace, gaining clarity, gaining the life you were always meant to live. You've been waiting for the perfect moment for everything to align. But what if now is that perfect moment? What if by releasing your grip, everything begins to fall into place? Remember all the times you thought you couldn't go on, and yet you did. You survived, you thrived, and you will again. Letting go isn't the end, it's the beginning. A new chapter awaits you, one where your past no longer defines you, but your future empowers you. Trust the journey, let go. Step into the life that's been waiting for you. Letting go is the first step toward living a life of freedom, joy, and abundance. You've been waiting for the perfect moment, for everything to align. But what if the perfect moment is now? What if the very moment you let go, everything finally falls into place? Letting go isn't about losing, it's about gaining peace, gaining clarity, gaining the life you were always meant to live. Think about the times you thought you couldn't go on when you believed it was over, and yet here you are. You survived, you thrived, and you will thrive again. Letting go is not the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter where you are no longer defined by your past but empowered by your future. What if the very thing you're holding on to is the only thing keeping you from your destiny? What if the moment you release it, you step into a life beyond your wildest dreams? You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to trust. Trust that the universe has your back. You've been waiting for a sign, for that perfect time. But maybe the sign is this. The perfect moment is right now. Ask yourself, what are you still holding on to that's no longer serving you? What weight have you been carrying that's keeping you from soaring? The truth is, the moment you let go, you make space for something extraordinary, something better, something aligned with your soul's true purpose. This isn't just about releasing the past, it's about stepping into the incredible future you were destined to live. So take a deep breath. Trust the process. Let go. Because what's waiting for you on the other side is beyond anything you can imagine. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiration to live your best life.